Yeah, yeah. We just chillin' and vibing. Good conversations with good people. Oh. Good conversations with good people. Yeah.
Yo, 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 this your boy Larry, and I'm chilling and vibing with singer slash top model Kristina Mennisov. What's going on, girl?
Hi, well, I'm chilling and vibing today from my car. Took a little break from traffic in LA and so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming on. I know that traffic in LA is hectic.
I'm sure you know because over there, like where you at, also I've been and I'm coming soon, February 7th and 8th. And I don't even know if we can, like, who is gonna win. I think they're both, like, both cities, both sides will be the winner. Like, if we talk New York, New Jersey, and Miami or LA, it's everything is a traffic now. One big traffic now, I feel.
Yeah, man, them big cities, man, that traffic is hectic. That's why I stay in the country.
And chilling and vibing.
Oh yeah. So Christina, where you from?
So originally, I'm from Kazakhstan. My dad is from Ethiopia. My dad lives in Germany, and before moving to Los Angeles, I used to study in Rome, Italy. So I consider myself as a citizen of the world.
So like, how did you get into music?
Music. Let's start from the moment I was. I'm joking. I started as an opera singer in Kazakhstan, and then with a student exchange program, I went to Italy, Rome, and I was supposed to be singing opera, and you were supposed to see me in Metropolitan Opera in La Scala. But then, I fell in love instead of studying. I got pregnant, had a baby, took a big break, got carried away into modeling world, but I kept this feeling like something's missing because I'm an artist. I love to share my story, talk about it, like give, like, or if I don't know how to express myself, I write music. If I get insecure or sad, I write music. Something's going on in the world, I write music. So not doing that for a long time, I felt like something was missing. And during COVID, it was a time when I stopped. The world stopped. Everybody were
Mhm.
pausing. So it was actually some good moments for me because I was able to sit down and focus on what's important. And I started writing music and I felt freedom. I didn't go back to singing opera because I was insecure coming back after a long break, but another reason, I wanted more freedom in saying what I want to share and telling my stories and delivering it how I want to deliver and performing and going on stage that have even more freedom of doing what I want to do and how I feel it, how I can express myself.
So what was the first song you wrote?
My first song was Taking Over LA. It was and I have this fun music video about, I would say, my journey. I mean, all the moments that are actually like could be considered truth, or no, I just came up with that, but it was like very sarcastic song about the journey of a girl who came to LA and then LA changes you, and like how some of the moments that we think are important in LA, like it gets in our head, and eventually instead of things that are actually important, instead of using things and loving people, we start loving things and using people. So I guess, but I had fun with that music video. It's like yeah, it's a lot, like it was fun. So you guys should definitely watch it, even though it's old and I didn't have a big budget. But it was fun. I think you guys will love it.
So like you say you write your music based off your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Your song Breakout, how did that song come about?
Breakout is. I felt like this song Breakout was. It's a good collaboration with a DJ, Marcia Orlando. And when I was she wrote the amazing beat, and when I heard it, I felt like it was about the breakout. So I would say that song is actually me screaming and trying to manifest my own breakout. Like there is few like lines like that we are like, sometimes you get so tired because you keep trying, you hustling, and then you think like, when is it gonna be that moment of the breakout? And eventually sometimes we give up right before that. And that's what's the song about, that you keep doing it and eventually you're gonna break out. And sometimes we're holding on some of the things because we're thinking, hey, I'm gonna wait for a better moment and then I'll start posting, right? And or then I'll do those things. But no, it's sometimes it's better, instead of waiting for that breakout, to do everything right away, right now. Don't hold on.
Your song "Hands," one of your latest singles. How did that song come about?
Hands is actually so different for me. Hands was me showing more of my vulnerability and about relationship. It's like about sensuality and feeling beautiful and sexy in a beautiful way, that it's okay to be vulnerable and give in a relationship. And it was actually very, I would even call this big word, therapeutic for me, because being a strong woman for a long time, I had to teach myself to be vulnerable once again.
So how was it performing with Nelly? You know what's crazy is like I was talking to one of my nephews, and I was telling him about saying the podcast with you, and he said, "Yeah, man, I saw her perform with Nelly, man. It was on stream." I was like, "Wow, that's dope." So how was that experience though?
Wow. So performing with Nelly, it was pure luck. I was one of the lucky ones. He just chose to be a Kelly. So I felt that moment on stage. It was very great. The energy was amazing. There was like almost 10,000 people, I believe. But it was at the very beginning of my career, so of course I was very nervous, but in the meantime something changed like a second after, and just forgot about everything. That specific night I didn't drink, but I half of the night was a blur, and then I was like, wow, like that's how powerful life experience could be, that we don't even need, like if we're doing, like if we're feel like living a good full life, we don't need to hide behind any substances.
That's true. So how does it feel being LA Magazine Model of the Year?
That was such an honor. Like Fashion Magazine, it's the magazine when I came to Los Angeles, and I just followed one of the first ones, right? And I was like always looking at every page of it, and did I know that one day I'll be there? I mean, that's definitely a dream come true. And because it's like it still feels surreal. The shoot was in New York, and everything was amazing. Like the hotel that we had a shoot on, the brands, the designers, and like I did feel like star.
So Christina, how did you get into modeling? How did that journey start?
Getting into modeling became, I would say, I kept hearing from people that I should try modeling. First, like, right, let's go again back in my journey. So in Italy, I fall in love, it doesn't work out, and pregnant, I come to Los Angeles and I have a baby, and going through all these moments that I didn't even know how to be a mom, and living in a different country, and I made everything even harder for myself. But eventually, a point hit when I used all my livings. My parents sold my car in Kazakhstan. They sent me money. I eventually ended up being in debt $20,000, and I had to start working. At this point, it was like way too long, and I didn't work, and I didn't even know what work could I do to make it make sense. Because to go and work for minimum wage, but then I'd have to give that minimum wage to my nanny, and that still doesn't make sense. So eventually I was looking for a job that will pay a minimum, like at least like twice as a minimum wage, right? So at least I can keep some money and make some money and save some. So that's how everybody were like telling me that I should like be a model. And of course we have this, especially at that moment in 2018, I thought that modeling is only like just doing like the supermodel stuff, which I get to do now. But I could say, and I think I'm a living proof that you can make a stable living in modeling. And you should consider, if if something's going on and if you think you can do it, doesn't matter how late you think it is or how the confident you feel in your body, you can still do it because there's different types of modeling. I did like some foot modeling, like you've probably seen my beautiful legs in some brands like Fashion Nova, right? So it's fully unrecognizable. You can do hands modeling, which also pays good. And then like fitting models, like if you don't feel good in front of the camera, you can also be like a fit model. Fit model is very stable income. Probably like most likely you go like once a week and they just fit you and they need the same model to keep retrying all the samples that they're making, right? So then there is ecom modeling, right? It's also modeling that it's less glamorous than like editorial. It's more you go, it's like regular job, 8 hours, lunch, I don't know, like $125 per hour, but then you have to like shoot like 100 dresses per day. And if you're not going to be fast enough, if you're not going to do the right amount of dresses a day, of course, they're not going to say anything. They're just not going to book you again. But if you do everything right, you do the right poses, like they don't need like anything. They don't need anything from you. They don't need drama or give me more of this. No, they just need you to do straight, two profiles and back. But if you do everything right and you stay professional, that could be a good income. And I think girls don't know that. I think that's so good to like tell people, and especially all the aspiring models, that besides trying to just become a supermodel, you can also consider different ways of modeling, right? And this way you can still continue pursuing your journey to shine and become the it, but in the meantime have a stable income without the need to do something that probably is not feeling good. It's just distracts you from your goal.
So how did it feel being on the cover of Vogue magazine?
Wow. Well, now starting with Fashion Nova, leg girl, and becoming a Vogue when they actually liked me for my face and my story and my heritage, from not fitting any criteria because, well, I wasn't black enough, right? So I'm only half black, or I wasn't Asian enough because then I arrive and then my hair curly, and they're like, why don't you just like straighten them forever? And eventually like they like me for my story from where I am from. It was amazing. It was incredible. The level was amazing. The jewelry designer, the Cartier pieces with the security on like on a shoot felt surreal. I couldn't believe it. When I saw the security, I was like, wow, like that's when I started understanding which exactly was the casting for, because through the whole time of the casting and a callback and all that, for a long time I didn't know exactly what we're being auditioned to. For a long time during the audition and callback and like knowing exactly what shoot is going to be, what day is going to be. I knew it's something big and huge, but I didn't fully understand which exactly magazine. And I was a little like skeptical. I was like, oh, what's all the fuss about? Like, why can't they just tell me what is it for? Like, I kept like asking, like, okay, just tell me the truth. And eventually when I arrived and I see like the security and all these pieces and everything, I was like, wow, okay, that's big. And it was a great story how I got casted because of a friendship. My friend, my fellow model who is on the cover with me, so she was also auditioning, but they needed somebody who would match her look, and they saw her like on her page me, and that's how they reached out through her into my agency. So I think that was also incredible. So I think the big advice that I can give, like, it's so important for everybody to just interact, do collaborations on Instagram and TikTok, post each other, because you don't know which way the opportunity can come to you, right? It's incredible. Sometimes you don't even know, you wouldn't even think that like kind of like this, it can still make it happen.
Yeah, networking is big, very big. A lot of people
Right.
don't know that though. They don't realize, like when you network with people, I mean, that can put you in rooms with a lot of people, big people also.
Right? Isn't this how Justin Bieber got discovered, right? He kept posting on YouTube before it was mainstream for everybody, but that's how he did it and he got discovered. And even though sometimes it's hard to believe and we sometimes get discouraged, like discouraged, right? Like when you keep like trying for a long time and you just think it doesn't work, or everybody have, I don't know, fake followers, or it doesn't matter. No, it does still. Sometimes you just need that one person to see you. It doesn't matter, like the rest is not matter.
That's true. Because somebody might see this podcast and hey, I might get a call.
Yeah, and or vice versa.
So I gotta ask, which one you prefer? New York Fashion Week or Miami Swim Week?
But they're different. Yeah, I can't really decide. I love them both because in Miami it's like during that summer and it's so hot. So in New York it's very cold, especially in February. I mean, in September it's nice, but in February it's very cold. But in Miami it's everybody is so beautiful, showing their amazing bodies. Every time I go to Miami for the castings and then the shows, I get very insecure about myself, and I'm like, okay, for the next year, I'll be in my best body, and it doesn't matter how good somebody looks. Everybody around me looks so beautiful, and I just keep reminding to myself, hey, if I'm there with all these amazing women, it means they consider me the same, just like them, because that's how I try to get over the insecurities, because everybody get insecure and the industry is so beautiful, and sometimes we just don't think that about ourselves. We just see beautiful people around us. I mean, we're like, oh, maybe I don't match them, but if you're there, that is so it's already an answer. Even if it's just a casting, if you already stepped into that room of those people, it means already that universe, or we can say whatever, like energy or everything, showing you that you're very close, or you're right there. Now, New York Fashion Week is always like beautiful, amazing looks, and you get to showcase, like, it's less about the model, it's more about the amazing pieces, but it's also great, like, to like even to walk wearing those dresses that cost, like, I don't know, starting at 5,000 and more, and you're like, wow, okay, first of all, let's not break it, let's not step on it, and two, wow, that looks incredible, like, and just those magnificent feelings. But now Miami Swim Week is again a little bit more about a model, I think so.
2025 nominee slash finalist for the World International Top Model. How does that feel?
It feels great, and it feels like with the work I'm doing, um it's an amazing opportunity, and I really hope I'll win. um Makes me feel excited. I'm not fully sure how the process is going to be. Is there going to be a jury panel or a voting experience? But no matter what, usually jumping into those opportunities makes me become a better version of myself.
Most definitely. But I gotta ask also, the partnership with Christian Dior. How did that feel? That was a lovely video.
Thank you. um Partnership with Christian Dior, I think this opportunity came to my life through being also an influencer. So first I started working with Dior Beauty as an influencer, and since then, like, working with them, we came with an idea to create something amazing, and I wanted to combine being an influencer on a platform also with my modeling skills, and maybe I don't know, jump into the next level of the brands. But creating this beautiful, amazing video felt so good, because being on the side of creating also, not just not just modeling, because it was more a collaboration with a designer on the Gupta, and then the studio place, which was absolutely beautiful, I think it's the only studio with a parking in downtown LA. So all that, putting it all together and then seeing it come to life, and realizing that I could, like, me and my fellow model, like an influencer, Marina Brown, we could just, like, both of us could make something so incredible, just like that, felt very empowering.
Yeah, that was a nice video for real, for real. I was like, that's dope.
Thank you. Dior Beauty, you guys have to book me as a main model, please. It's about time. Do you see how I can do it?
Are you team Porsche Our team Land Rover. I gotta ask.
Okay, okay, you want to guess?
Okay, we
Team Land Rover, yeah.
that's just I saw you went to the Super Bowl last year. Do you plan on going this year? And who do you think gonna win?
Wow. Okay. So last year, going on a Super Bowl was like amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I absolutely loved it. But Vegas is a little closer to me than New Orleans, so this year I'm not gonna be going to watch Eagles and Kansas City. But I have a feeling, well, Kansas City's gonna win again.
Yeah, hey, you can't count Patrick Mahomes out, but the Eagles looking kind of tough too. It's gonna be a good game, I think. May
Right?
the
I
best
think
team
it's gonna.
win though.
And I think also like I'm so excited for all the people who is gonna go to New Orleans. I've never been, but I've seen like I don't know some really cool movies and like about all the like culture there, jazz music, and then like just the feeling and the magic that happens there. I'm just like so excited for all the people like experience the game and the culture of New Orleans. So like to I'm excited to even see it on like on social media, like how it is gonna be, what's people gonna do while there, and I hope to actually visit New Orleans like this year.
Yeah, me too. I never been, and like Mardi Gras, they be talking about Bourbon Street. I actually had a guy on my podcast, and he stayed in New Orleans, and he was telling me about the food. And I definitely want to visit also.
Yes, yes, I know. It's like especially every time they show like in the movies, they show the Bourbon Street and then like all the magic like that happens in haunted houses. My son loves Haunted Mansion, so we watched both of this like both movies like so many times that I feel like I know it so well now. I have to go and see all that.
So how does it feel, being a model, but also being a mom? How do you juggle both of them?
Juggling, it gets like there is up and downs. It gets hard, but eventually the more you juggle, the more you practice, the better you become at it. And in the meantime, I feel like it's important to continue chasing your dreams, being a mom, because that's, first of all, you're going to show with your own example that everything's possible. And two, like, I'm bringing Kane, my son, like some amazing experience with doing that. Like, we get, like, we were invited to like Sonic Hedgehog like 3 premiere, and he loved walking, but also like he gets to like go to Disneyland with like all the influencers seeing when there is no lines, and the next time we went without, he was like complaining about the lines. But also like those experience he will remember because it's I think it's also really nice and really good. And if you look at the successful people, even when we say they're like fully self-made, not all of them, right? Most of them still had to be from a good family. We're not saying that the family is going to be like it's going to be per se nepotism, but it's about when kid was raised seeing all of that and understanding that all of this is possible. They just learn better, they just know better, they're like their side, they believe in themselves more, right? And they know they don't have like some of this thoughts that like you can't do it, you're not like it's so far, because it's just exists in their world. So I think that's awesome because and also like even social media tools, of course we don't want to expose kids too early, but in the meantime social media world shows kids that it's so close and you can be there. Yes, it you can misuse it and it will become like a destroying tool, but in the meantime it could be used as a good tool just to show that like everything's achievable, everything's possible. I whenever it gets hard, I just remind myself that.
Yeah, that why I'm a single dad, and I always tell my daughter, aim for the stars. And I always tell her, keep making daddy proud. Like she got all A's and she be doing it all year. And even if I'm not here, she will always remember. My daddy always say, keep making daddy proud. And I want that to just stick with her.
That's amazing and that's inspiring, um and wow, good dad. I'm so proud of you.
And thank you. I tell everybody I'm just trying, I just keep trying. And I just want to be a example for her. When she grow up, when she meet a guy, if you ain't like my daddy, I ain't want you.
Right, that's good.
The LA fires, man. I want to talk about it. How is it going over there right now?
We had 2 days of rain, and seeing people genuinely being thankful for rain moved me. I could see like everybody were so happy, and like you can see like the lights were like the faces were lighting up. You could see like or like a moment of release. And of course there was so many mistakes made, I feel like, by our state government, that it could have been like the situation could have been handled maybe better. But I hope everybody could learn from that. And I just wish all the people who lost their houses to be, as they say, patience and strength. And it's gonna be it's over for everybody else, right? Everybody like, whew, fire's over. But for them, the unfortunate like long journey is just starting, like to rebuilding, to getting all the approvals and paperwork, and even trying to get there and clean their own places that they own. So I just wish them like to all the strength that they can have. And but seeing the LA community getting together to help was also inspiring. And I hope it's not gonna be just like this 2 weeks. We're just gonna keep doing that, because all those people are gonna need help going forward with permits, with paperwork, with doing all that. But at least I hope it's over for now. I hope we're like, and I hope like the government like learned something, and the situation is not gonna repeat itself like every year. Like it's really like it's happening like around the world. Like every time like there is like such horrible events happening, um, that it just makes being gratitude for everything even more. Like every time something's happened like this, I just sit there and I pray that I want them to feel strength. And also I'm so like I just so grateful that it's another lucky day.
Yeah. So like my big question is, granted that happened and I'm sorry it happened, my prayers go out to everyone that was affected. What can the government do for it not to happen again? Prevent it from happening.
Right. I feel like some of the biggest mistakes were made during the mishandling the situation. It's when they wouldn't even let the people to protect their own houses. Of course, the kids should be mandatory evacuation, but I know like family myself, when people had to hide in their home because police and army arrived for a mandatory evacuation. So women left and took the cars, and men stayed and they were hidden. But then they were just going around the house and putting the fire down themselves, and only their home survived. But can you imagine if more people were allowed to do so? Of course, it should be suggested and it should be warned that you should like go, right? And kids should go, definitely. But if people want to stay there and protect, and the more people will do it, the more help will like it will be a better use. But for some reason it was handled like this. Or all those people on Pacific Coast Highway when they were forced from their cars, right? I'm sure maybe you've seen those videos when the cars were bulldozed.
Hmm.
And I was so shocked when I saw first I saw the video of cars being bulldozed, and I was so confused. Why would people like, can you imagine the situation? Like somebody's running from their home, they have their essentials, they're in the car. How close had to fire be for them to like leave the car? Because fire wasn't that close. But then I started seeing videos of people walking right from their cars, and they're crying and they're saying that the police told them that they have to leave the car. So they leave their cars, and then later on firefighters can't get to the fires because of those cars, and they have to bulldoze. So an hour and a half of delay because of that. Was that the only way to deal with that traffic, or they could have handled it so much better? I mean, there are so many questions and not enough answers, and nobody's answering, and they love to say no comments or just play the quiet game, right? Like when they're being like mayor of LA, or our governor, when they're being asked the questions, they just stay quiet. So there's so many questions that needs answers. Why was that the only way to handle that traffic? Or they could have done it differently, and then the people would have not lost with their houses also cars, and the firefighters could have get to the fires faster.
I agree. I agree with that. I wish, they handle it better the next time. If it be a next time, hopefully it won't.
Hopefully it won't.
So if somebody will want to listen to your music, how could they do that?
So, if you guys want to listen to my music, you should follow me on Instagram, Kristina Mennisov, because that's exactly where I announce all the new releases. And then my Spotify is also Kristina Mennisov, my first name and my last name. Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Just type in my first name and last name. And really, guys, I'm working on some really good covers and songs. So you guys should follow me and support, and I'll support back. I see the comments and I always go in the pages of people and try to give back with a little bit of my time. So hey guys, let's stay connected.
What advice would you give a young model or artist? What would you tell them?
So for an artist, it's, I think, important advice that I was given. Release, release, release. I mean, everything you have. If it's a demo that you've been working for the last 3 years, I think it's about time to release because, well, let's be honest, that's it. You should just release it. Sabrina Carpenter, before she found her style, she released so many songs, even though she was the breakout of the year, right? So just release as much content as possible, songs, demos, and then you can always pull back the release if later on you'll think it's just like not good and you are so much better. But at the moment, use it as a practice tool. You record it, you release, you learn the feedback, you go do the work. Don't hold on the content, because as artists we love to do that, just a little bit here and a little bit there, and maybe I polish a little more, and then it's been 3 years and you're like, okay, fine, this song is not me anymore, right? So that's why it's important to do it fast. And for models, just do keep like going and believe in yourself. And there, even if somebody will tell you that you are not the right fit at the moment, first of all, it's just their opinion. And two, it probably like you're gonna find something better. And you can also learn from this. If you don't think about it as a full denial, I think about it as a feedback, what you can do better. If and even if you got like quiet treatment, or they were like saying you're amazing and you just never got the call back, you learn from it, you analyze it, try to see like who works best, and then this way you can make it happen. Some of those moments when we just think, okay, maybe I'm not good for the industry, that's not true. You can make it in the industry no matter of your age, no matter of your height. Thank God, industry changed and it became something that is so much more accepting and so much more beautiful, I also think. And there's different types of modeling that you can take, and it could become your stable income if you're just gonna keep trying and keep working on your skills.
Well, Christina, I appreciate you for coming to chill and vibe. But before we go, let everybody know what we doing.
Chilling and vibing.
Oh yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Larry. I hope you guys had fun as I had fun just chilling and vibing here.